Hello, welcome to Save US Taxes Legally. I want to start off with three simple questions. Then I'm going to tell you the history. I'm going to tell you about who I work for, tell you about myself, and then I'm going to show you some examples. So let's get into this. First question, do you want to leave a legacy for future generations? Number two, do you want to save taxes year after year, generation after generation? And number three, do you want to learn the secret of the rich? If you answered yes to all three questions, hopefully you did, stay with me for the next 20-25 minutes. I'm going to teach you the secret of the rich. It's a spendthrift trust. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B, like Bravo. It's been in front of the United States Supreme Court on two separate occasions. You can't get more legal than this, and it's not taught in schools. My name is Sally Gimmon. I'm the owner of www.thetrustisyou.com, and I also have a free class on the Great Discovery. Save US taxes legally. Just go out to www.sallygimmon.com. You're going to get a 23-minute presentation similar to what I'm going to talk about here. 3 articles from Forbes magazine, 2 pages of case law so you can research this to your heart's content, and then examples of clients saving thousands of dollars. Now, I believe every US investor, US business owner, US franchisee owner, US 1099 income earner, and US entrepreneur needs to know this information. You will be saving 4, 5, 6 figures in taxes year after year, generation after generation. It's an amazing thing. With the money you save, you can put this back into your business. You can buy more real estate. You can buy more crypto. You can pay off your mortgage. You could buy a new vehicle. You can take your family on a well-deserved vacation. You could give it to a charity, or you can save for retirement. It's your money. You have access to the money with a debit card, and then you can build business credit on the new EIN or employee identification number. I believe that since I learned the secret of the rich back in September of 2020, it's my duty to teach this to as many people as possible. This is not taught in schools. It took me 5 months, 5 months, yes, put that thumb in there. It took me 5 months to learn the secret to start both my business and beneficial trust. In September of 2020, I'm very proud of the fact I became the first female mastermind in my real estate group in Phoenix, Arizona. And as things had it, my coach told me in January of 2022, I was playing too small and I needed to start my own company, hence www.thetrustisyou.com. I have a fantastic job. I'm helping people save thousands of dollars. Yesterday, I actually had someone cry on the phone with me, on Zoom with me, because she didn't know, she and her husband didn't realize they could save so much money. That because of the money they're saving, they won't have to hire a au pair or a nanny to help their children. She's going to quit her W-2 job. This is how it's changing your lives. I believe that the playing field for all businesses, no matter how big or how small, must be equal. The Amazons of the world get free land in New York. My brother's brewery lost its lease because the people who own the building raised the rents too high. This is not fair. So, I know what you're thinking. You're like, what are you talking about? How come my CPA hasn't told me this? How come my financial advisor doesn't know about this? That's a legitimate question, and it's the elephant in the room. In the United States, there are over 1 million active attorneys currently practicing. Only 4% are trust attorneys. There's only certain law schools that have a they learn to be trust people. A textbook trust attorneys studied in law school is called Scott and Asher on Trust, 5th edition. It's a textbook. You do not need to read this. It's also in Black's Law Dictionary. If you can find this online or you're near a law library, Black's Law Dictionary, look up Spendthrift Trust, you'll find the information. Now, when you Google, and please do, I want you to research this as much as you can. When you Google tax code 643B, like Bravo, you will find an opinion letter dated September 11th, 2018 from the IRS. They blatantly say they don't like tax code 643B. They don't like the irrevocable complex discretionary non-grantor spendthrift trust. It's an opinion letter. I have opinions. I hope you have opinions too. Only Congress can change the tax code. Now, to tell you the truth, too many US presidents, too many US senators, too many US congresspeople know the secret of the rich. They are raising taxes, but it's not on their agenda to change the tax code. If you start the trust, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know how this is going to work, but once you start the trust, it is contract law between you and the law firm I work on behalf of. Nobody else but you or the law firm can break the contract. A little bit of history for you. This comes from England way back. When I want to say 1534, please don't quote me. I'm dyslexic. I transpose numbers, but way back when King Henry VIII, that famous king who chopped off his wives' heads, started the Church of England. He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went further back to the 13th century to the Magna Carta and said, oh, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law that came to the colonies while we were still part of England. The law firm I work on behalf of inherited a trust that turned 350 years old in 2023, before we were a country. Now, our current tax code we're under currently went into effect February of 1913. 112 years ago this month. It was only supposed to be around for a few years. Then we got into World War I, and the rest is history. The only thing the tax code has done is grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. The super rich families, the Barron families of 1913, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys, the Rockefellers, they made sure they could save taxes. Guess what? If they can save taxes, we can save taxes. Again, I work for a private law firm. It was started by Paul Benson, a Harvard law professor who 77 years ago wrote 5 separate trusts to save specific taxes. You are not tax-free. You're saving very specific taxes, and I will go over this in just a minute. Now, I want to go over the 5 different elements: irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, spendthrift trust. Again, this is the full title, and I'm going to give you what each one means. Irrevocable. This means it goes from generation to generation. The Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust is called the Office. It's been around for 7 generations and has almost 400 people under the same EIN, or Employee Identification Number. If you have an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, you understand about EIN numbers. Irrevocable does not mean it's hard to get things out of the trust. Since I started my trust in September of 2020, I've wholesaled 28 properties through my trust. I have 12 notes in my trust. I have a crypto bot in my trust. I've got seller financing property in my trust. I have access with a debit card, and I am doing a free program to build my credit report on Dun & Bradstreet with my EIN number. Irrevocable. Complex. This trust can hold money day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade, century to century. 97% of the trusts sold in the United States are exactly what my mom and dad had, and what Susie Orman talks about on PBS television: the family trust or the living trust. There's nothing wrong with that trust. It's only designed to avoid going through probate, and then it dissolves and all the assets are split up. This is not your mom and dad's trust. This is what the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys, the Trumps, they all have this trust. As the famous quote says, keep the money in the family. I think it was Vandenberg who said that, and they lost everything. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary. Whoever is the trustee or trustees can decide who are the beneficiaries, add them, subtract them, and they can decide the rules that the beneficiaries have to follow. I have a couple, husband and wife, who have 4 apartment buildings in Los Angeles. Thank God they're okay. This was a few years ago. Their adult daughter lives in one of the apartments rent-free. She has a slight problem. Her parents are requiring her to do 4 random drug tests per month to stay in the apartment building. She actually took her mom and dad to federal court to sue them. The judge read through the trust, He said, you've got two choices to make. Choice one, pass the drug test, stay and rent free. Choice two, move out and start paying for your own rent. I do not want to be invited to their Thanksgiving dinner. Again, uh, when there's a will, people can contest the will and fight about it. When the trustee or trustees pass away, they have an associate trustee who takes over, but all the trustees' requirements are put into effect. I personally am single. I have a lot of real estate. I can decide if one nephew gets gets 90% of the real estate, and the rest of my nieces and nephews only get 1%. Nobody can complain about that. Irrevocable. I was in a car accident, so my arm hurts. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor. This makes the trust 100% private. When you start the Spendthrift Trust, you're going to have someone who is not a beneficiary, not a trustee, sign up to be the settler or the person who's the grantor of the trust. Then they're going to sign themselves away. This makes the trust completely private. The trust is going to be based in Texas because that's where the law firm is based. And they know that I've moved 4 times since I started my trust, but I have not changed the trust name or anything else. This is not a speed bump. Literally, I just did this for a client this week. I am their grantor or their settler. I have to sign a series of papers, get them scanned, and send them back to the law firm so that this trust is completely private. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, spendthrift. Again, the Spendthrift Trust has been in front of the United States Supreme Court, the highest court in the country, on 2 different occasions, and both times that they have favored the trust. You can't get more legal than this. Now, just a quick story about Paul Benson. He passed away, unfortunately, but good thing, his grandson and great-grandson still run the law firm. His great-great-grandson just passed the bar. They have the copyright on Benson's 5 different trusts. We're going to discuss about 2 of them here, but I wanted to tell you all 5 trusts are under the umbrella of the Spendthrift Trust. It's going to save you in 3 ways. You're going to save taxes year after year, generation after generation. You're going to keep your information 100% private. No one's going to know what you own, where you own it, how much you own, what you do with it, and when you sell it. And all lawsuits are going to become completely frivolous. It's an amazing thing. Now, a caveat, you must know this. The trust is on the federal level. If you have an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, that's on the state level or statutory level. The person I talked to yesterday, who was the husband and wife who are in Maryland, I'm in North Carolina. What they do in Maryland with the Secretary of State is different than what I do here in North Carolina with the Secretary of State. Anyone can go online to either the Maryland Secretary of State or the North Carolina Secretary of State or Arizona Corporation Commission and research LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps. 40% of those companies get sued every year. We tell you shut them down. They can't be in the trust. They would be outside of the corpus of the trust. Shut them down because with the trust, all your assets are in the trust and nobody can get a hold of them or sue them. Another example for you so you have this. One of my clients is in Chicago, has 100 doors. I know Patrick. He likes his wealth. Wears his Rolex, has a diamond pinky. I've never seen his RV. This past summer, 2024, he was driving his RV, probably a $250,000 RV, couldn't slow down for traffic, hit the car in front of him that pushed her to the car in front of her. So one car got squished. They got out, exchanged information. His beneficial spendthrift trust holds the RV. So the insurance card showed the name of the beneficial spendthrift trust. Patrick's Illinois driver's license showed Patrick's name and home address. 6 weeks after the accident, Patrick gets a $500,000 lawsuit for pain and suffering. The woman in the middle, his insurance might have gone up, but his insurance is covering to fix her car and pain and suffering. He's got a bodily injury on his insurance. He calls me in a panic. I'm like, Patrick, the lawsuit came from a certain attorney that'll tell you who it is. All you're going to do is send the first page of the trust to the attorney with a note saying, I'm in a spendthrift trust. Any pain and suffering comes from my auto insurance. He calls me a week later. He goes, I just saved $500,000 lawsuit. I'm like, yes. And you're saving rental income taxes too, Patrick. Congratulations. This is the power of the Spendthrift Trust. So, you know the 5 elements. You know about Paul Benson. I'm going to tell you a bit about my story. October 2018 was a watershed month for me. 3 major things happened. I was working as a Medicare broker in Phoenix, Arizona, and my oldest nephew is getting married in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 28, 2018. I had worked for the company for a year, and I hadn't taken a vacation yet, and I asked for the Friday before the wedding and the Monday after the wedding off so I could spend some time with friends and family from all over the world. I was denied. Didn't like my job very much before that, and liked it even less than that. Second thing that happened, my brand new 3-week-old sports car with a moonroof. I'm driving to work on Indian School Road, a major east-west road in Phoenix. I have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm the second car through on a green light. The guy runs the red light, kaboom! He hits me on my passenger side, has no insurance, and in Arizona, we have uninsured property damage. I had $25,000. My car was 3 weeks old, and I was upside down on my payments. All of a sudden, I go from being comfortable to having 2 car notes and eating ramen noodles twice a week. I'm 53 years old. I don't want to eat ramen noodles when I'm 53 years old. This is not the way I planned my life to be. Third thing that happened. I'm living in Phoenix, Arizona. My mom and dad live in Goodyear, Arizona, 25 miles west of Phoenix on I-10. A week before the wedding, they leave Goodyear, Arizona to drive to Charlotte because they were taking a lot of things for the wedding. Thursday before the wedding, my dad calls me and says, your mom's in the emergency room. We don't know what's wrong. I'll keep you informed. I work until 8 o'clock Friday before the wedding, drive myself at 8 p.m. I drive myself to Sky Harbor Airport, take a red eye to Charlotte, land at 7:15 in the morning. Family tradition, we go out to IHOP for breakfast. My nephew and his fiance or soon-to-be bride are there, the fun time. Then my dad takes me to the hospital to see my mom. I walked in on the priest giving my mom last rites. My world stopped moving. I did not know my mom was that sick. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I go to a church wedding, then go to a country club. I eat too much, I dance too much, I drink too much, had a great time. On Sunday, my sister-in-law has this beautiful brunch for all of us. At 12:30, my dad drives me back to the hospital, see my mom, drops me off at the airport to fly back to Phoenix because I had to be at work 6 o'clock the next day. My mom ended up having septic of the blood, a blood poisoning. She was on the ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months. Thank God she got better. This septic got into her pacemaker. They had to do open heart surgery, take out the old pacemaker and put in a new pacemaker. So my dad stayed in Charlotte with my mom for 9 months until she got strong enough to get sent back to Phoenix. I'm going out to their house every weekend to do the mail because my dad was only going to be gone for 2 weeks. First week of December, there's a letter that's 27 pages thick. Open it up. It's my mom's Medicare statement for the emergency room and 1 month on a ventilator, and it says it was $72,000. My dad, retired military, has TRICARE for life. My mom's getting the best care possible. I'm standing in my mom and dad's kitchen. I have a $10,000 deductible on my health insurance. That car accident in October, I asked everyone, please don't call an ambulance. I don't need it. I have 2 car notes that I'm upside down on both of them. I have student loans because I went to graduate school. I have a mortgage. I have credit card debt, and I hate my job. Not good place to be in. Right then and there, in my parents' kitchen, I called my friend Glenn, who had invited me to a real estate meeting in August of 2018. Glenn answers, and I'm like, Glenn, I need to change my life today. He's like, Sally, next Saturday, we're having a Christmas potluck dinner. Bring a $5 gift, some food, and meet my fellow real estate investors. Really? Go to a party where you don't know anybody? Not something I want to do. So I go to the party as I'm trying to get into this condo building on Camelback Avenue. A guy walks up. We start talking. I find out he's my third cousin from Ireland. We didn't even know we existed, but we're going through the family trees. Go to the party. I start making some great friends. I start real estate investing. In 2019, with my mentor, Jay Tenenbaum, I wholesaled 7 bank-owned properties nationwide, and I paid off $184,000 in debt. Woo-hoo! I am a rock star in my real estate group. I'm completely debt-free. I have $50,000 sitting in my bank account, and I know what I'm doing as a real estate investor. Ha ha ha. April 4th, 2020. COVID started about St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. On April 1st, 3 of my properties did not pay me. April 4th, my CPA calls me and says, "Congratulations, Sally. You made so much money. Your tax bracket went from 22% to 24%. Congratulations? Are you insane? Yes, I made more money, but now I owe more money." Let me share my screen because so few people know about this. There's 4 ways to file your taxes. This is information from NerdWallet. This is if someone makes $100,000, how much of a difference from 2024 to 2025 is happening. Single is the most expensive way to file your taxes. Listen up. If you're married and filing separately, now single and filing married separately are going to be the same amount in 2025. If you are married, your best options are to file married jointly. It's the cheapest way to file your taxes. And then there's head of household for $100,000. Now I'm going to go to the next page so you can see this. This is in federal income taxes. There are 7 different layers to taxes. I went from 22% as a single person to 24% in 2020 and 2000 for my 2020 taxes. Instead of owing $50,000, I owed the federal government $94,000. I set up an appointment with my CPA in Scottsdale late afternoon because I am still working. I drive out there, go up to his office, sign the paperwork to get on a monthly payment plan with him, get my parking validated, go down to the parking garage, and I sat in my car and cried for 20 minutes. You know geography? Scottsdale's east of Phoenix. I'm driving to the sunset, tears running down my face. Now, my mom, who did get better and came home, my mom, as Irish, my great aunt Kitty in Ireland, always made this comment, sleep on it. One of my favorite books out there for you to read is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I went to bed angry, mad, and I'm like, where am I going to get $24,000? Next morning, I wake up and I'm like, where's that book? I read a book about the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust. I started researching it, and I spent 5 months researching my Spendthrift Trust. In September of 2020, I started both my business and my beneficial Spendthrift Trust. I became the first female mastermind in my real estate group, and I help other investors save money. So I'm going to share my screen again. Let me go down. This is my first property I put into the trust. This was bought in July of 2020. I started my trust in September of 2020. I actually Googled 2 simple bill of sales. From my LLC, Sally's Real Estate Team, from my LLC to Sally Gimmon, I'm transferring Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And then from the second bill of sale, from Sally Gimmon to my Beneficial Spendthrift Trust, I'm transferring Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I drive to the bank. I get both of my bill of sales notarized. I happen to have $10 in my wallet. I hand that to my banker. He puts a note into his notary book saying consideration was made. He notarizes both bill of sales. I drive back home. I scan them to the attorney in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm in Phoenix. This is September of 2020. COVID's going on. I scanned the 2 bill of sales to the attorney in Raleigh, North Carolina. Next day, he sends me an email and says, I need the first page of your trust. Send that to him. When it finally goes to auction on August 28th of 2021, I knew from $20,000 to $50,000 at 24% tax rate, I would owe $7,110 in short-term capital gains. August 28th, 2021 goes to auction, and it goes from $50,000 up to $64,326. Woohoo! Sally made $44,326 without lifting a hammer. This is the way I like to invest. Easy peasy. More importantly, at 24% tax rate, I saved $10,368 in short-term capital gains. I took that money and put it into more real estate, and I now don't pay taxes. This is a page. This is for all investors. We're talking about the Beneficial Spendthrift Trust now. The Beneficial Spendthrift Trust is going to save the following 5 taxes. You will no longer pay short-term or long-term capital gains. You will no longer pay interest income taxes. You will no longer pay dividend income taxes. You will no longer pay rental income taxes. And you will no longer pay royalty income taxes. Year after year, generation after generation. This is just an example to show how much you pay depending on your tax bracket. So when I started real estate at $50,000 at 22% was $11,000. Now at 24%, it would be $12,000. Now this is short-term capital gains. So if you're selling crypto, if you're a forex investor, you're wholesaling, you're fix and flipping, you're doing auction houses, you're doing tax liens, that's short-term capital gains. Interest income taxes are for passive investors. Maybe you're in a mutual fund. Maybe you're in a Riich. Maybe you're doing subject to real estate. The Burr strategy. I have 12 notes. Creative financing, seller financing, and forex investors. You get charged twice, interest income taxes and dividend income taxes. I'm sorry, interest income taxes and capital gains. Dividend income taxes are for people in the stock market, day traders, options traders, doing futures trading, doing commodities, or living off of dividends. You're being taxed between 10% to 37%, depending on your tax bracket. Rental income taxes is for anyone who has short-term rentals like Airbnb, vacation rentals, 5 doors, 10 doors, 20 doors, multifamily, apartment buildings, commercial property. Maybe you're doing Airbnb arbitrage or rental arbitrage. Yes, you can take a property that has cost averaging or has depreciation on it and put it into the trust and continue that schedule. But every new property you have, you don't have to do that anymore because you're saving the rental income taxes and all lawsuits become frivolous. So if the renter's dog gets out and bites the mailman's course of action can only sue the person living in the house, not the owner. This is an amazing thing. And again, if you wholesale 2 houses in 1 year and you're at 22%, you will save $22,000. If you're at 32%, you'll save $32,000. It depends on your tax bracket. That's why I need you to make a tax breakthrough session with me. So the beneficial trust is for U.S. investors. You will stop paying taxes on any of your profits. Amazing thing. This is next page. This is the business trust. This is for U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, U.S. franchisee owners, and 1099 income earners. If you're making at least $80,000 a year, you need to be looking at the Spendthrift Trust. These are just some of the examples that I have. A mechanic, husband and wife who own the shop in New Jersey, they're saving $3,039 a year. September of 2024, he went to the local high school. He hired 2 kids to come in after school and on Saturdays to learn how to become mechanics, and he's paying them out of the savings. A salon owner, she has 2 salons and a haircutting school in Los Angeles. Thank God she's safe. Nothing burned down during the fire. We used $1 million. She's saving $33,467 per month, more than some people make in a year. A Shopify owner, Etsy Shopify owner. She's 23 years old. Her shop was growing month after month after month after month. She too went from 22% tax break to 24% tax break. And if she keeps her shop for next, doesn't grow anymore for the next 10 years, in 10 years, she would have saved $173,000 she doesn't have to pay back to California or to the federal government. A home inspection company in Ohio with 7 inspectors. They're saving $6,104 per month. A real estate broker in Illinois, he's saving $4,979. And then I made a presentation to his top 7 agents who are also saving money. A dentist in California, saving $2,483 per month. An HVAC owner, this came from a business broker. The gentleman who sold the HVAC company in Georgia saved capital gains. The gentleman who bought the company is going to save $20,052 per month. He plans to add 2 more trucks in 2024 to his portfolio. The business broker who bought me both the buyer and the seller, he got to make an extra $2,000 with my JV program. A real estate agent here in North Carolina, I've used her several times. On one house in 2023, she saved $5,022. In 2024, she sold 6 more properties and didn't pay any North Carolina state income taxes and got to save federal income taxes. A business coach in Indiana is saving $4,893. A chiropractor in New York is saving $6,352 per month. In Ohio, a Subway shop owner who had 2 locations, he took his $4,122 and opened up a 3rd location, so he's even saving more money with this. A an Amazon owner in Oregon is saving $4,701. My commercial light salesman saw one of my videos. He's only working 3 days a week because he hated paying taxes. So we used that he's going to save $3,615 per month, and he told me he's going to start working 5 days a week. And finally, a paid speaker in Idaho who's saving $3,510. These are all clients of mine saving massive amounts of money with the Business Spendthrift Trust. Now, the slide, oops, let me go back here. This slide was short-term capital gains. This slide is for long-term capital gains. This is a true story. Son saw my video about saving long-term capital gains. His parents were selling a 42-year-old family restaurant that Jim and his brothers built. So they were selling it for $3 million. I'm not a CPA, but at 15%, on April 15th, 2024, they would save $450,000. And on April 20th, on April 15th, at 20%, they would save $600,000. They were working with a business broker. We had to contact Sam to change the contract. Sam's like, I make 1099 income. I need to have the Spendthrift Trust. To tell you the truth, Sam was going to make 10% on this deal. So Sam started the business trust. Sam told Michael, the gentleman who was buying the family restaurant, as is everything in it, that about the Business Spendthrift Trust. This was going to be Michael's 7th family restaurant. Michael bought the business trust, so Sam made an extra $1,000. Now, Sam and I JV together quite often. This is just an example of regular people. Back in March of 2023, I took my friend Ingrid door knocking. Cold, blustery day in the Charlotte area. We went to our favorite New York style pizzeria at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and ordered the best New York style white pizza. We sat there and chit-chatted for 2 hours, and as we got up to leave, Mario, the owner, asked for my business card. He and his wife, Mary Ann, were doing their 2022 taxes, so we used the numbers from 2022. 2 locations, grossing about $15,000 a year, $15,000 per month, equals $180,000 a year. They filed jointly at 22% tax rate. Their gross federal taxes would be $30,215, saving 90%. It would be $27,193, and then saving a full year of North Carolina state income taxes of $7,710. With the money they saved, it wasn't a full year. They only had the trust for 3 from 7, 3 from 12 for 9 months. But in 2024, they opened a 3rd location closer to my house. And then in 2025, they're opening a 4th location. When they retire in 2036, they're leaving 2 pizzerias to 1 adult child, 2 pizzerias to another adult child. There's no inheritance tax. And then the adult children will continue to save federal and state income taxes. This is an amazing document. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Sorry about that. Now, every trust I sell, I give $100 in my mom's name to St. Mary's Food Bank. As I told you, my mom's from Ireland. My grandfather died December 1939, just when World War II was breaking out. I can palm a basketball. My mom's fingers were longer than mine. She was appalled that kids in the United States went to bed hungry or food insecure. It's just something I do. St. Mary's Food Bank is the oldest food bank in the country. With this trust, if you would like to set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me, it is not a sales call. I'm going to show you how much you'll save, give you the information, tell you, let you look it over, and you decide if you want to buy it or not. You'll just go out to www.thetrustisyou.com scheduling. My free class on the Great Discovery, where you'll get a 23-minute presentation, 3 articles from Forbes magazine, 2 pages of case law, and examples of clients saving thousands of dollars is my first name and my last name put together. Again, the Spendthrift Trust is legal. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It's been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions. I am saving thousands of dollars and want to help other people save money too. The main distinction between the business trust, that saves federal and state income taxes, and the beneficial trust is for U.S. investors to save taxes on all profits. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm a representative of the law firm, and I'm helping thousands of people save thousands of dollars. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.